What's going on YouTube? Ralphdatrader here, back with another video. In today's video, I want to do a recap of NAS100 from this previous week to show you guys some opportunities that you could have taken advantage of. Myself, I was only able to take advantage of one of these trades this week, but it was um, it was a pretty good trade. All right, had no issues with the trade. It was a nice trade. I was able to catch 100 points on this trade. I'm only looking to really do about like 10 points a day with my personal account. Only put $100 into a personal account, and really the goal is to do 10 points a day, 50 pips a week. So with that one trade, I was able to make $100, whole 100% gain on that one trade. But I want to just go over NAS100, do a little recap, and show you guys some opportunities that had happened during this whole week with NAS100, and just to show you guys how you could have taken advantage of these based off the way that I learned from Stacy Burke and really just simplified it to fit me best. All right. So if you already been following me, you know that I only really trade NAS100 and the US 30, and you know that I just trade from the highs, lows of weeks, months, days, current days, weeklies, all that. And I also just pay attention to how prices behaving at the levels, like Stacy says, timings, levels, and behavior of price. All right, so now let's get right into it. So first thing first, we always want to check the news. All right, so as you can see here that on March 11th, all right, on that Monday, we had no news for USD at all. That is a good sign when we don't have news. So when there is no news, if there is a setup that is there, I will take it. Okay. Even if it's at the open, I will take it. Okay. So now let's get right back to the charts. So now as you can see here that on Monday, price was just consolidating. All right. Up underneath the closing price area. So let's just blow this up. So you can see how price was just consolidating. All right. We were just consolidating up underneath of the closing price level and also the 50 level. We had one hit, two hits, three hits, four hits. All right. Four nice rejections right off of the 50 level and closing price level. All right. And I'm only talking about trades that happening from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time during a 12 candle window. All right. I'm only looking focus on this gray box right here. I'm only looking on that. Now we did have some trades that happened probably in the pre-market. If you're a skilled trader and you know what you're looking for. All right. So, but I'm only focusing on trades that happen inside of the 12 candle window. All right. So now let's get into it. All right. So like I said, you can see that price was just pretty much just consolidating. And then during the pre-market, we got a nice little breakout of the consolidation. Price gave us a nice little pullback up underneath of the double zero level. So if you're a skilled trading, depending on the time frame that you was on, all right, you could have shortened this because this candle right here is the open. This is our 930 open candle. You had a nice rejection off of the double zero, timings, level, behavior of price. All right. So this was one of those trades. Even though our previous day's low was triggered, you did have a opportunity to short this back to the downside. Now, if you did not catch this move to the downside, you could have just waited on the buy low setup and see what presented. So this basically went, 100 points. Okay. So we went from 18,000 to 17,000. Okay. So I mean 17,900. All right. So we went 100 points. Price dropped 100 points. All right. After the open of the market. All right. Then, as you can see, coming into our third hour, that price gave us a nice little pin off of our double zero level of 17,900. Then at 10:15, gave us a nice engulfing 10:30. Third hour, this was your trade. Okay. For the buy low setup. If you're on a 15-minute time frame. Okay. Smaller time frame, you could have already had an entry, but based off of the 15-minute time frame, this would have been my entry right here at 10:30. All right, for a nice 50-point move. But as you can see, price did shoot up almost about like 90 some points. All right, so you could have even held that for a whole 90-point move. But overall, you had your 50-point move in this one candle for a nice buy low setup. All right, on the Monday. Now going into Tuesday, what do we have for news? Tuesday on the March 12th, we have news starting at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, all the way up into 1:01 p.m. Okay, so all the way up until 1:01 p.m. we had major red news. Okay, so now let's go to our chart and see what we had on Tuesday. So as you can see, when the market opened up on Tuesday, price did trigger the previous day's high. So there's our signal. All right, there's our signal. All right, now once the session opened up here at 8 a.m., remembering that we had news at 8:30 all the way up until 1 a.m. So like Stacy says, when we have news during that time, we want to wait until after the market opens at 9:30. So you're not doing anything until after 9:30 when the market opens. All right. So we had our major red news here at 8:30. Our market didn't open up into here. This is our 9:30 candle. So as you can see, 9:30 did give us a nice little push to the downside. All right, coming. All right, they did proceed to go 50 points outside of our 100 pip box. So here's your stop hunt. Okay, so we want to wait until after 9:30. All right, 9:45, they proceed to push the market back up to the upside, creating this tweezer bottom. We have equal lows here. This is a tweezer bottom, which is a reversal trade setup. Even though our previous day's high was triggered, but we wanted to wait until after 9:30. All right, so we did not get a sell high setup. All right, we did turn around and get a long trade. All right, so you could have entered on this candle once price pulled back up underneath of the 50 level, because you can see that price had some majors had done created a support right up underneath of this level. So we waited until after 9:30 when the market opens up. We got a nice tweezer bottom for our confirmation for a buy setup. And this was your entry right here during our third hour at 10 a.m. You could have entered once price broke back up underneath of the 50 level, taking the entry here, and you definitely had got your 50 points. So if you got in like right at this um support that it had done created right here, if you got in there, and shoot, that one candle itself was like 50 points. So this one little little spinning top doji candle was 50 points itself. But as you can see, the price did proceed and put in a new high. All right, so you could have gotten way more than 50 points off of this trade. Base really 100 points you could have managed to get off of that trade. But our previous day's high was triggered, but we had to wait until after the news and after our 9:30 candle finish closing. All right. So with the 9:30 candle closing with the market opening, we did not get the sell high set up, because anyways, if we want to sell, we want to sell from up here anyways. Okay, we want to sell from the highest point. So you were able to catch a long opportunity. All right. So that's just following all the rules, man. Waiting until after the market opens up at 9:30, like Stacy preaches. All right. Then now you're just paying attention, even though, like I said, we did have the signal. It's just a signal. When price triggers a previous day's high, low, week, month, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just a signal. It does not mean to take a short trade just because, price triggered a previous day's high or previous day's low. Does not mean to just take the trade. You still need to pay attention to, timings, level, and behavior of price. Like I said, you wanted to wait until after 9:30, like Stacy always tell us to do. Wait until after 9:30 when you have that much major red news out on the calendar, and you had a nice long opportunity versus the short opportunity. So you had a nice long opportunity. All right. Now let's go into the next day, which is Wednesday, which is our free cash Wednesday. We want to check the news. So on Wednesday, on the March 13th, we had major red news at 1:01 p.m. So we didn't have any major red news until 1:01 p.m. So we had the green light once again. All right. If a setup presents itself to take it before the open or at the open, we had the green light. All right. Now let's go back into the chart. As you guys can see here, price when the market opened, price was just consolidating for a while, and then you finally get a breakout of the previous day's high. Then they come back inside, all right, putting in a lower low. Then we went back into some consolidation before our session starts to open up. So you had a nice consolidation, then you had the breakout, you had the pullback. All right, so now the price is starting to make lower lows and lower highs. All right, so there was your signal. Now you could have entered into this trade at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you understand timings, level, and the behavior of price. All right. So as you can see, once the market opened up, you got had this nice little pump up to the 50. You got this nice little rejection with a nice little 1, 2, 3 engulfing at 8 a.m. Man, you could have been in right at closing price. All right. You could have been in right at closing price. But now if you just wanted to wait, All right, so now price put in a higher high, price comes back and put in a lower low, then price puts in a lower high, and as you wanted to just wait, price come back on the inside, all right, puts in a lower low, come back, and then they give you the dump. So here was your trade setup. Like I said, depending on your skill level, how skilled you are, how well you understand the market, you could have gotten in right at the open. Okay, you could have got right at the open of the session because this is your nice momentum candle right here. This is a nice Mariposa candle, which is a momentum candle. All right, but like I said, if you wanted to just wait, you could have waited as well because then right here is 9:15. So you did get another um, higher, you got another lower high put in place, giving us equal highs right here, which is a tweezer top. All right, then at 9:30, all right, you could have taken a trade at the 9:30 entry, or you could have just waited until price broke below these wicks and got in here. So you could have got in at 18,175. That would have been our next uh, price level. You could have taken this trade and just got in on the 9:30 count, then wrote it down for your 50 points. Now, if you wanted to wait until after 9:30, you could have just waited until that happens. But everything was already set up for you to take this trade because if you guys just look here, you can see that they had them push the market all the way up into the upside. All right, so now we're just trapping volume up high. Then you have all this open space for the dump. All right, all this open space. So it was already set up during the London session. So they had an already start setting it up. That's why I say you could have gotten in right at 8 a.m. And remember, we did not have any major red news out until 1 p.m. Okay, so until 1 p.m. and that's when we had major red news. So you could have taken this trade right at this session open, man. Everything was presented, everything was there. You could have taken that trade, and then you could have just started scaling in if you wanted to. So that was free cash Wednesday. All right, you had volume trapped up high already. Signal was that the previous day's high was triggered. They had the consolidation, you had the breakout, you had the pullback, and then you got the dump. All right, so you have all this open space right here. Just where is the money? All right. Now let's go into Thursday. Okay. What news do we have on Thursday? So Thursday, March the 14th, we had major red news out again at 8:30 all the way up into 10 a.m. is when we get a new news release. Right. At 10 a.m. we had a low impact news. So at 10 a.m. So let's go back to the chart and see what presented itself. So as you can see, coming into our session, we did not have a previous day's high or previous day's low triggered. But if you understand timings, level, and the behavior of price, you were still able to execute a trade. All right, you were still able to execute a trade. As you can see, price was just accumulating. All right, for a little minute, it just accumulated, but not too much. It wasn't too much consolidating because you can see they was basically creeping up. It was creeping up. All right. So as you can see, they just creep the market on up. And then if you just put your little trend line or whatever up on this from this low and you come all the way up, you can see that you're basically on the backside of that move like Stacy talks about, but you can clearly just see that, all right, as they start pushing the market up to the upside. Now, timings, levels, behavior, price. So we're inside of this 100 pip box. All right, you had the major red news out at 8:30. Here's your news candle right here at 8:30. So we want to wait until after 9:30. Wait until after 9:30 when we have major red news out at 8:30 all the way up into 10 a.m. So you want to wait until after the 9:30. So as you can see, the market starts to break down. And right here is our 9:30 candle. All right, so you get a nice little indecision candle, but understanding timings, level, and behavior of price, 9:45, you could have taken this trade. All right, could have literally taken this trade at 9:45, man. Got in before closing price in this one candle. All right, gave you 100 points. All right, even though our previous day's high or previous day's low wasn't triggered, all right, wasn't triggered, but there was still a setup, okay, based off of timings, level, and the behavior of price. All right. So we're just remembering that we had major red news out at 8:30, but we want to wait until after our 9:30 candle prints. All right. So basically, we want to wait until when the market opens up after 9:30, and you had a nice trade set up. Okay, you had a nice trade set up for a short opportunity because you had the nice pump, then they gave you the little dump. Okay, you had a nice pump, you're on the backside of the move, it gave you the dump. Okay, so that was an easy trade setup as well. That was another easy trade setup. So far, man, you was able to catch a 50 points every day so far. All right, 50 points every day so far. So if you caught 50 points every day so far, you're up $200. All right, that's $200. So now going into day 3. All right, because we know that it resets on Wednesday becomes day 1, Thursday becomes day 2, so Friday is day 3. So on Friday, March the 15th, we have once again we have major red news out at 8:30, and then um the news starts to weaken out. All right, after 8:30. Okay, so at 9:15, you did have some medium impact news. Okay, but our major red news was out at 8:30. So going back into our chart, let's see what we have on Friday. So Friday basically looks like the same thing that happened on Thursday, but you can see that price was just consolidating, then it broke out, then it gave you more of a nicer pump up. Okay, no previous day's higher or low was triggered. Okay, but timings, level, behavior, price. They give you a nice pump up before the session opens up, then they start to dump. Okay, so now you can see that they're starting to come on the backside of the move, but we had major red news out at 8:30, so we want to wait until after 9:30 when the market opens up. All right, so right here is 9 a.m. So look at how this candle closed, timings, level, behavior, price. 9 a.m. This is when a new 4-hour candle starts. You can see that this was a nice momentum candle. This is what you call a Mariposa candle. Candle has no small wick to the upside, small wick to the backside, but this is a momentum candle right here. All right, 9:15, you could have been in this trade, man. Got your 50 points and you could have been done on free cash Friday. So you had the nice pump up, then they gave you the dump. All right. So every day this week, man, there was some opportunity to make profit on the NAS100. All right. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys learned something for this video. This is why I do these contents. If this video was helpful for you, man, hit the like button. Let me know. Leave a comment. That way I can continue to drop more videos for you guys. Like always, man, work hard, stay disciplined, be patient, and know that your time will come. Peace and love. Have a good one.